Hey adventurers, there have been some huge updates to Story Goblin. I would love to take you through a few of them so you understand exactly what tools are at your disposal during your adventures. Let's dive in. The first thing I want to talk about is private notes. Sometimes you have notes that you just don't want your other players to see, or maybe there's some spoilers that you want to warn people of before they see them. Let's jump into a session. I'm in the middle of my session and I realize, hey, I don't want my other party members to read this. Only my GM should see it. Or maybe I am the GM and I don't want any of my players to read this. Bottom, I can hit GM only. Now only you and the GM can actually read these notes. But let's say I'm okay with my players reading this, but I want to mark something as a spoiler. I can highlight it, hit spoiler, and it will add spoiler tags around it. When I hit preview, it will be blurred until somebody clicks it. These will also still be hidden during the search function in your adventure. Let's take a look at the next update. This was to journals. So for journals, for starters, the search bar now appears for both session and journal. But you'll also see we have a filter function. So whenever you are editing your journal entries, of course, you can now mark these as GM only as well to keep notes secret from your players. Or you can add a tag to it. So that way you can categorize your entries a lot easier. So I can jump into here and let's say this was an event. I'll add an event tag to it, hit save, and now the event tag has appeared at the top. If I click this, only this entry will appear. But if I've got another one that is not included in here, if I hit my character, for example, it will disappear. Now, let's jump into the next one. Characters. We have heard so much feedback about characters. Character sheets have been completely redone from the ground up. Now they are a completely system agnostic character sheet that you can customize on the fly. Let's jump in. I have two characters here. Now you'll see we have a few more resources here that are trackable. But let's edit this. When I edit it, you'll see these are all editable now, completely. So let's say I have some custom fields. Maybe I want to add my AC. My AC is 15, or maybe in my game system, I don't use AC, so we'll remove that. Maybe my armor is an actual health bar. So we can add a tracker here for armor. I have 15 armor. Now, if I hit save, it has added another tracker here for armor. But let's say I want to edit my ability scores. I can easily edit those. I can add a modifier to them. And these are also completely editable. Then we have secondary stats. These are for things that are maybe not as important as your higher stats. So maybe something like weaknesses, weak to fire. You can add that here. A resource pool is something like spell slots or key points, or maybe bullets. Who knows? And then of course, currency is pretty self-explanatory. You can add different units here. But we've also now added inventory and abilities. So inventory works like this. I can add an item. So let's say I've got a long sword. I can add an item, an image if I want to. I can tag these in the same way I would tag journals. So this is a melee weapon. I'll hit melee. We'll say that this is a +1 magic sword, or whatever I want to put here. I can add some details of where it was found, how much damage it does, whatever info I want to put. I can add a quantity, value, and unit. I can also add custom fields. So let's say this is my reach. Say this sword has a reach of 10 feet. I can add that here. And there's my longsword. But here's a cool thing we can do with items now. you can actually give them to another character. So if I hit give, other characters in the adventure will appear. I want to give my longsword to Leora. I'll hit give item. It will disappear from my character sheet and appear in Leora's. Abilities work in a similar way. I can add an ability just like this. I can categorize it however I'd like to, add a description, add some custom fields. Of course, instead of value and quantity, there's charges here. And then in personality, we added relationships. Let's take a look at how that looks in your session now, because the session character sheet has also been completely redone. So whenever you hit your character sheet now, your sheet will appear as a drawer to the right, and on mobile, it will take over your screen in the same function. So you can scroll down and see your entire character sheet. You can tab through your inventory, abilities, and personality. You can add items on the fly during your session and give them to other characters during your session. You can update your trackers. You can update your resource pools, update your currency. However, you can't update some of these stats like ability points, or you can't maybe edit some of these items. For that, you would want to go to your actual details to do. Of course, the theme editor is still here. You can customize things per session. And those are the main updates. There's been a few other quality of life updates, some things that just improve the overall experience. We've also added at the bottom a way for you to donate, report a bug, request a feature, or contact us. If you'd like to help keep Story Goblin free, donating is the best way. It helps pay the bills, and it encourages me to give you guys some awesome features. If you'd like to help with the features, you can request a feature, or you can go to updates, or you can vote on the next features that will be added. I hope that helps. Story Goblin wouldn't be what it is if it weren't for your support and feedback. There's plenty more features to come, but until then, Story Goblin is here for your next adventure.